What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Highland because I got a little more sun than normal at work today. So we're playing at Highland because there's almost no shade at Julian right now. It's very overgrown and still no shade because of storms and damages. Anyways, we are going to be battling the stable putter slot. I know that it's come up a lot recently, but we are going to be Envy versus the P2x. I think this is going to be a really good matchup. Let's start throwing. So again, we're doing this video and I still forgot to look up the P2x's flight numbers, but if we're going based off of the P2, maybe a hair more stable than a P2, right? P2 is numbered at 2301. So P2x probably comes in around more like the 02 range. The Envy is 3302. And based off of diameter, it's a pretty close match, but the P2x is a hair larger, thus theoretically giving it more glide, giving it more hang time because there's more air underneath it. Over the Envy, which is, well, axiom, and we all know what Envies can do. Let's go ahead and start here. I think we're actually going to start with a forehand. I don't normally throw the Envy on a forehand because I'm normally reaching for something a little bit more flexy, like my stabilizer, or at this point it's the slammer. So I'm not normally reaching for the Envy on a forehand, but it does forehand. You can throw it on a forehand. So we'll go ahead and start 216 feet, bottom of the hill, forehand. Hyzer, hopefully hyzer. Yeah, Envy is it's a good little hyzer stand up for a forehand. On the backhand, you're not going to get as much stand up, but it's not necessarily, it's a putter. It's really hard to find putters that are torque resistant for forehand torque if you're going to throw it hard, so that's really usable. Basically about the same spot, about the same release, but the P2x had a touch more stability in its line. It didn't flip up as much. I feel like, or it looked like they faded about the same. So we're gonna go with the 02, but on a forehand, I think the bead and the slightly wider diameter, making it slightly more mid-range size, is going to give it a touch more torque resistant, especially for that forehand shot. Envy's parked though, and the P2x is about 5 feet past the Envy. So I think Envy takes point number 1, but that was entirely off a ground play. They were basically the same. So Envy's taking point number 1. It is 230 feet to this next basket, and I think here, distance-wise, this is getting to the edge of where it is an easy soft shot and getting to where it's kind of a shot. You still have to kind of throw it, you know what I mean? So let's kind of throw it, not super hard, but make sure it's a crisp release. A little bit of a trickle down the hill, but honestly, I think that's still high enough up on the hill that I'd be able to see the basket, look at the basket, make a putt at the basket. I like how straight it holds even when you're not throwing it super hard. But I really, really like when you are throwing it really hard, it still just holds really straight. And granted, I threw that on an anhyzer, which we're also going to see a touch of anhyzer just to keep it a crisp release down the middle. Oh, grip lock. Hey, Envy with 2 points in a row. That was interesting. That did not even cross my mind. So, you know, maybe if it had crossed my mind, maybe it wouldn't have happened. We're not going to replay this hole, but keep in mind that we didn't really see the flight on the backhand yet, so we need to see that. So I think here we are going to go backhand again because you can choose backhand or forehand, and we threw it forehand, we saw it go clean. We threw a backhand, we didn't see it fly clean, so we're going to throw a backhand here. Envy with 2 points right now. I think a flat to hyzer, and let's see how much they dump compared to each other. That is parked or a little long. Something about that rim is not releasing well today. I don't know if I need to throw harder to have a rim like that. Maybe we're throwing too short. We're gonna play 4 long so we can throw from the tee pad, but that's also 290 is actually getting up into that range of I may or may not be able to get a putter there. So I'm gonna have to kind of rip them. So hopefully if it's a power issue, I'll be able to see that. But if it's not a power issue, maybe my first couple of throws that I had with this were exceptional. And after that, maybe I just won't have the confidence. So I thought I was really going to like it. Confidence is not as high right now. All right, Envy, I'm going to commit to touch of hyzer because I know this disc, and I know if I try to throw it perfectly level, I'll probably roll my wrist and turn it into this stuff. So try to go just a hair of hyzer so that I can commit to a line so that I don't accidentally roll it. That was more than a hair, but also held straighter a lot longer than I thought it would from that much hyzer. Still haven't seen it fade yet, but that was a very clean release. So I think for me, it might be a power thing. Maybe I'm not throwing hard enough on these 190-foot shots. And I'm trying to soft it when maybe I should be trying to ace run everything. Hey, that would make for a more fun video, right? All right, soft flex, 230 feet, but it's slightly uphill. So for putters, we're gonna have to push it, which is good for the P2x. But if I overcompensate for the Envy stability, it's gonna just go to the short basket. So let's see what we can do. Let's try to be super precise, but also kind of punch them. Directly into a tree. Still didn't see it fully fly. I stepped to the side, I could see it finish. So turns out I'm grip locking today. Because that shouldn't have happened, but then I can't hold on to it as I walk down the fairway. So I'm grip blocking, but you know. P2x does take its first point because it was worse than the Envy, and so went through the gap that isn't really a gap. It got lucky. It did get lucky. Hopefully on the next hole, both can get lucky, because I really want to see them fly to the end of the tunnel. So the P2X is working really well if I add a little bit of torque, almost a shank and flex, but with a putter. So, which, I mean, it kind of makes sense because it's was made for and asked for by one of the furthest throwing flex line throwers in the world. So it does kind of make sense that it works really well for that style of shot. I don't know if it's going to beat the Envy. It has the box here. It is 4-1 right now. So it basically has to kind of go perfect if it wants to beat out the Envy. Most of the way down there, still not in the middle. I think they hit the same tree. And P2X kicked closer to the basket. I think they hit the same tree, and the P2X kicked. I think I kicked closer to the basket, so you know what? P2X with 2, Envy with 4 still. Like I said, ace run chance. Let's try to line up the next one. 217, right over there. I have aced it with an Envy. It was an Eclipse Envy. I think it was the Total Eclipse Envy. I no longer own that Total Eclipse Envy. I don't know why I got rid of it. But yeah, P2X has the box, and we're trying to ace run it, so that means we're actually trying to not soft it. We're trying to give it enough to get there. Okay, found out how to throw a laser beam straight. That's too low. Too low. But that does mean that the P2X is now mathematically eliminated and the Envy is going to win. So, you know what? We're just going to play one more hole since it's mathematically eliminated. And we're not going to play hole number 9 because that's just, for this slot, it's a weird shot. So we're going to go play hole number 8, try for another 2 ace chances. I like the P2X. I didn't throw it super well today, so I might come back. It is glow, so maybe we'll have to try it out again for the glow season. But yeah, 2 more ace runs. Let's see what we can do. The basket is lit up and framed up, so maybe good things. Envy has the box. I love the Envy for how, if you're trying to throw a power shot, it pretty much is a straight flying putter. If you're trying to throw a soft shot or a controlled spinny shot, it becomes a somewhat overstable putter. And you can manipulate the angles, you can manipulate those, and for me, I prefer the Anheuser angles for manipulating those soft shots, and the Envy tends to work really well for that. Whereas it might be the depth, it might be the bead, it might be the shoulder, something about this P2X just, it wasn't sitting right. And it's really great for power shots, and it's really great for bombing putter drives. But for the control in a wooded course where I would predominantly be throwing putters in wooded scenarios like this, it just did not perform that well. So maybe Envy has got to stay in. yeah, something about the shoulder, the rim, the flight of the P2X today. It flies great when I'm trying to power it up. You saw the release, that super line drive shot on 7, on 4, on, well, not a super line drive on 6. But when I hit it properly, it's great. But today I was having issues just connecting it with it properly. And so it also might be the heat and humidity. So until the heat and humidity goes away, I think we are going to be sticking with that Proton Soft Envy, because I'm throwing it pretty good. Hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment all of that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber-only giveaways. And if you want to be automatically entered into monthly giveaways, check out the memberships as well. Until next time, see you out on the course.